November is National Novel Writing Month, in which surprising authors challenge themselves by trying to write 50,000 words, 30 days or less. And in this room, there was a variety of challenges, and I will let each of you guys kind of explain the challenge that you took on for yourself and how well or where you ended with that at the end of November. So yeah, I think Violet, will start with you.
Yeah. So the classic NaNoWriMo challenge that is the baseline, but not the time challenge that people will do, is to write 50,000 words, which is the original concept that I joined in on. My goal was to finish one of my books. Unfortunately, that did not happen. A lot of life events came up this month, well, last month, that I was not prepared for nor expecting. So I hit 9,000 words, which is less than 10%. But at the end of the day, I did do a whole redraft. I was able to write an entire timeline. I was able to find some plot holes that were really just sticking it to me. And I was able to get myself reinvested in a world that I had honestly fallen out of love with. So I'm proud of the progress that I made, even if it's not the progress that I originally wanted. It's what I needed for the month. So that's my recap.
I think I love that. I've said it before that like trying to write 50,000 words in 30 days is a lot. And I know Lauren and Becca, you've both done NaNoWriMo, correct? And I've also done NaNoWriMo twice. And yeah, it's much easier when you're in like high school and you don't have the real life stuff kicking in.
Yeah.
And so even to walk away from it and feeling inspired is just really great. So I am really, again, I've said this before, but I'm really excited to see how this kind of momentum keeps forward.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Lauren, do you want to take it next and tell us how your NaNoWriMo went?
Yeah, so this year for NaNoWriMo, for me, it was just a really basic goal of just writing every day. I had just finished the kind of developmental edit of my second book, Rise of the White Owl, in September and in October. So that's when I sent it to my copy editor. And then I just kind of took a break, about a 46-week break from writing. And so November for me was really just getting back in the mindset of my world, starting on book 3, drafting book 3, and just getting back into the practice of writing every day for me. I knew there was, just with life going on and things I had planned in November, that I was not going to hit the 50,000 word count. So I was like, I'm just going to try and write every day this month. And for me, I did pretty much hit most days. There was a couple, especially around the holidays with family, that I didn't quite get to my laptop to write every day, but I definitely got back into the mindset of my world. I was, taking notes on my phone, even if I didn't have my laptop around, just thinking about it, getting back into that mindset. And I got pretty good progress on the outline and the first few chapters of book 3. So I was very excited about that, as well as some little things, some just tiny little issues that I'll be working through on book 2 to set it up for book 3 a little bit more in the next couple weeks here. So I was really happy with that, just getting back into that mindset.
So like you said, you're fixing up your second book. It was supposed to be coming out at the end of this month, pushed back to mid to end next month. So I know that's always very disappointing, but I'm really glad that you kind of get the chance to clean stuff up and tighten it for the tie into book 3. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And I will say, Lauren, I feel like the only reason that I came away with such a positive mindset with my NaNoWriMo is because of the podcast episode that you and I did, where you talked about how your goals were a little bit different, a little bit more personalized, and it kind of helped me realize that even if I didn't succeed with my original goal, as long as I came out of it with something, it was worth it. So thank you for that, because it allowed me to kind of change my entire perspective on this last month.
Yeah. Great. And so coming over to Becca, I know your NaNoWriMo experience this year was very different than acting or writing. So kind of go through what your goal was and what happened.
Yeah, honestly, I loved hearing about the two of your goals because they both really resound with mine in different ways, because I went into NaNoWriMo in the sense that November is National Novel Writing Month, and that means something to me, and it means that I get excited about writing again, and I get to see a lot of friends get really excited about writing, which definitely inspires me. But by no means did I have the energy, or honestly the space in my book right now that I'm working on a fantasy novel, to sit down and write 50,000 words. Like, that wasn't a realistic goal either for my story or for me and my lifestyle right now. But my goal was, I've been so disconnected from this story, from these characters for, honestly, since last summer, like summer of 2022, not even recently, was really to get back into the story and get my characters talking to me again, reconnect with them as though they were people, which they are in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, really just reconnect with my story and get inspired. And I didn't know what that looked like. Going into Nano, I kind of had this goal of, kind of a vague goal of like getting through a few chapters. Specifically, at least I have a dual point of view, so at least getting through one chapter with each of my characters' separate point of views. And honestly, this month I fell back in love with both of my characters, and they both started talking to me again. And I feel like
Yay!
they are ready for me to tell their story. I kind of gave them some space. They gave me some space. And I'm finally ready to jump back into their world, which works out really well because it's December. And January, I have time to tell their story. And they're talking to me. So I would call NaNoWriMo a success, even though I maybe I wrote maybe 2, 3, 4 chapters and edited maybe 2 chapters. So when it comes to looking at what I did on paper, not a success. But when it comes to the fact that I feel inspired and excited about my story again, it was a huge success. So it was neat to hear about both of your experiences, because I think it is similar in that the number of words that you write, the number of chapters you write, whatever it is, isn't always the main victory, even if that's what you enter expecting to be the victory. Sometimes the victory is just feeling inspired and excited about your story again.